Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening from wherever you are tuning in. So my name is Angeline Constantino, and I am the founder and coach CEO of my podcast. Welcome to Let's Break the Silence podcast. And we help women who have gone through domestic abuse. We help them regain their power in their lives after going through domestic violence, and we help them rediscover themselves as well. So I see a lot of likes and loves. So throw some loves, throw some hearts. Let us know, please, where you are tuning in from. It is Monday. It's the beginning of a brand new week. So hope you all had an amazing July 4th weekend. So let me just go right to the chase. So I met this lovely lady, Tara Blake, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Tara. So Tara is a 39-year-old happily divorced woman who finally knows her self-value and self-worth after leaving an abusive marriage 3 years ago. She is a substance abuse counselor for a local treatment center in her hometown, and she absolutely loves helping people on their recovery journey. She is also a Monet market partner who loves sharing the opportunity about their amazing vegan, organic, and cruelty-free wellness, skincare, and hair care products. In her spare time, she loves to write, paint, go to dancing classes, and spending time with her family and friends. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Tara on right now. She's going to share her incredible story of how she came out of domestic violence. I cannot wait to hear her story. So here we go. Hi,
Tara. Hi.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Tired, but good. Been up since before the butt crack of dawn.
Oh, yes. No, I can imagine. So, but you know what? It's a beautiful day. And I know that people cannot wait to hear your story of, yourself coming out of domestic violence. So I'm really, really super excited about this broadcast today. But let's give some shout outs first. So, because we have a lot of people. Okay, we have Jessica. Hey, lady. Bestie friends. Okay.
Hi, Allie. I don't know why I'm waving like this.
Allie. Melissa is here.
Hi.
Melissa.
I don't know you, Melissa.
From New York, actually. Jessica, Tennessee. And let's see, Facebook user. Okay, we just need to know who you are. So if you are, we're broadcasting live on my personal Facebook page, in my private group, and on my YouTube channel. So scroll up where you see the invitation to join StreamYard. Just go to that link, click on it, and I will be able to give you a shout out. Okay. So let's see who else is up. Delroy is tuning in from the United Kingdom, watching from Marathon, New York. Delroy is live. Oh, it's Birdie. I know who it is, from Texas. So. Okay, Bertie. Okay, that's after. Yeah. So let's just go right into it. So everyone is here. See, Jessica, shout out. Hello, everyone. All right, let's go right to it. So I know that you were in a very dark place. So who is Tara Blake? And tell us about your journey before transitioning into your career. So what happened? Tell us about
that. About my experience. So
correct.
The person, not going to bring attention to their name or anything, because it's like I'm taking my power back. But I met my ex-husband. I met him at church, of all places, back in 2012. There's a church on every street corner around where I live, and it's a very powerful church with a lot of money. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
And we met, became friends, went on actually a date. I didn't remember at first when we first started dating that we had gone on a bad, awkward first date. That should have been my telltale sign. But had no idea, because people can wear masks, and that's what he wore. And we didn't start dating until July 2014. and it moved pretty quick. We were engaged within like a month and a half. I was a stepmom for 4 years. And I knew that he had issues with drugs, like with when he was younger. And he's like, I kicked it. I'm doing great. But everything's different hindsight. He's like a true narcissist, and that's being very nice about it. So I didn't see the red flags that he was going to be, mentally, physically, emotionally abusive, and even sexually abusive. Didn't know that. And he masked it he had a mask on, like people that were our friends at church, everything. What's funny is my mama, this is my maternal grandmother. She helped raise my brother and I, moved in with us when we were 5. And if anyone knows anything about Southern mammals, they're very tough women.
Yes.
Miss her every day. The chair that I'm actually sitting in right now is my mama. So it makes me, she was like my protector. Apparently in the conversation, oh, thanks, Jess.
Thank you, Jessica. Yes, I'm so excited about this.
My mama was really good read of people. I think she was an empath. Like, she could really pick up on things. Wasn't an easy person. Love her. But my mom told me a few weeks ago that she's like, your mama never liked him, but she welcomed him with open arms. His son, my stepson for 4 years, that was her, great grandson for that short period of time. That was just the kind of woman she was. Didn't know she didn't like him, like something was off. And once he passed away on September 1st, 2015, that's when red flags started going up, and I ignored them. And that's when the abuse started. In spring 2016, sorry, I got stuff in my eye. In 2016, I found out our entire relationship was a lie. He had been lying the whole time, was abusing pain pills from a family member. I got the call. I was a mental health case manager in town. And I got the call or text from it. I didn't tell anyone. I felt like my whole world was falling apart. And the only person I told at the time, my then boss, she was in active recovery, had overcome her addiction, very balls to the wall kind of woman, but she really cared. So she just saw the look on my face. I was crying. I was in hysterics. She closed her door and we talked for like an hour. Now, she used some tough love, but I remember it's like, you're going to get through this. But I didn't know that I could leave. I've had so many people that weren't in the situation. They're like, we had no idea. Why didn't you leave? I was in denial. It progressively got worse and worse and worse. I thought I didn't deserve any better. It got so bad, Angeline, that I didn't tell anybody till like after the divorce, that in 2016, I was just so depressed. I had actually been raped in 2014, a few months before I actually started dating him, by someone. It was a blind date, to make a long story short. So I was still healing from that. And so I was going through, I think I was diagnosed with PTSD. I was going through some depression, and then the abuse had started. It was mainly emotional and mental and verbal. And I've met a lot of people that are like, oh, it's not abuse unless it's physical. Now, he did lay his hands on me once, and then there was the sexual abuse. I'm not going into too much details about that, but abuse is abuse. It was just, but anyways, back to 2016, it had gotten so bad. Didn't tell anyone because I didn't feel like I could talk to anyone because my coping mechanism, and Jess, my best friend that's on, she could tell, she would tell this, is that I just didn't tell anyone. I just thought I didn't have anyone to talk to. I didn't think. I actually attempted suicide in 2016. Nobody was home. I didn't tell anyone until like way after the divorce. So,
wow.
Yeah, it progressively got worse. I've been called I was called every single name in the book. Names that I will not repeat, but I will say this. I won't say the word, but it starts with a C. That was his favorite word for me. So anytime I hear someone like on like a TV show or a movie or on TV say that word, I just get mad because no woman should be called that.
No, you're not the only one. I was too.
I hate that word.
I hate that word too.
I see you I just like get mad thinking about it.
Exactly. And it makes my blood boil when I hear it from someone else. You know, like let's say you're out at the park and I hear profanity and I hear a young guy calling a young girl that. It makes me want to step in and strangle them.
It's like the whole Exorcist wants to happen where your head wants to turn and it just.
Right, exactly. I hate that word. And Jessica hates that word too. And I am so grateful that you are here with us today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jessica, because we've been through a lot and I'm going to try not to cry, but
it's okay. It's okay to cry. This is a safe.
She had it wasn't the blessing. She had the pleasure, and I'm being very sarcastic here. She had the pleasure, her and her husband and her family had the pleasure of meeting him. But so it started when my mama, looking back, when she passed away, it was like my protector. It always felt like ever since I was a little kid that she was protecting me. You know, I think she's my guardian angel. That's just my opinion. And then once I knew that the relationship, the marriage was based on the lie, it progressively got worse and worse and worse. And like I had said when we were talking beforehand, that it felt like it was my dirty little secret for so long because, with your experience and with other people that that have been through what we have, is they train their victim. I don't even like using the word victim because I've never tapped into that mindset.
Right.
Is that it's your fault. You're crazy. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be this way. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many times my life was threatened. Maybe my brain, the caseworker, counselor in me, it's probably my brain protecting myself. But I can't tell you how many times that I was told, if you leave, I'm going to break every inner explicits, of course. I'm going to break every single thing in the house. And he pushed me away from family.
That happened to me too.
And that was incredibly hard. And once after my divorce, and it was never, and I'm looking back, I know it's because I have an older brother and I have a 10-year-old biological niece. Him and his family live in Atlanta. And I know that they were trying to protect, my niece and everything. And we've had conversations since then, but once the divorce happened and people were ready to okay, how is Tara doing? My parents were amazing. They talked to to family, and I got my family back, and then COVID happened.
Wow.
But it was good having my family back, and he pushed away my friends, especially Jess, but it took a good year and a half to be in a good place emotionally after I left.
Okay.
Because I just felt broken. What got me to leave? Oh, you gotta love allergies.
I know. The pollen count is high here too. Yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great. Keep going.
What got me to leave was that I knew. Got an eyelash in my eye. I knew. I mean, he'd done all these horrible things, but what did it is I knew on my birthday in 2018, we got divorced in August 2018. I knew on my birthday that he had been cheating on me, and he had made my stepson a part of it. He was bold and posted stuff on Facebook, of all things.
Oh my God.
Stupid. I can laugh about it now.
Stupid is right.
But it's like, I knew, it's like when you're a case manager, or once you're in social work, always, it's just in your blood. It's like, if you need anybody to find out about stuff about people, find yourself a friend that's a counselor, a social worker, a case manager. We got good investigating skills.
That's great.
So it's like I had proof but didn't have proof, and adamantly denied it, even going through the divorce and all.
They're in denial mode. They're like,
well, he's showed signs of being a sociopath and all. Like, if he was watching right now, like I said beforehand, I'm not going to mention their name.
That's
because it's taking my power back. They would always deny it. I forgave him and everyone involved years ago, not for them, but for my own healing and mental health. But back to when the whole affair was like the last straw, knowing he's done all these horrible things, denies it. So it'd been about a week where he told me, he's like, I'm ready to get, I'm done. I'm not happy anymore. Oh, we can still be friends and all. Lived there for about a week. What's the saying that our parents say? Wanted his cake and eat it too. I was like, wait, we're getting a divorce. Anyway, the day that we had decided we were, going to get a divorce, I was hysterical, but it's just because I was like, oh gosh, I'm finally going to be able to leave. Not thinking if I had stayed any longer, he would have killed me, in a rage. I know he would have. And so it's like, I started feeling safe again. I came to my parents and I was just bawling my eyes out and I told them some stuff over time about like stuff that happened. And I remember they both were just holding me, and that helped. I felt, safe, relieved. So for that week, that was the only time during the whole divorce, everything was going smoothly, right? And then I was working a customer service job at an insurance company in Dalton, Georgia at the time. And I was like on break. I was at my desk scrolling through Facebook, of all things, right? Because it's what we do on break. And I saw pictures of him and her playing for the whole world to see. My stepson was in the pictures and all.
Wow.
I don't remember the day, but that is the day where I'm like, I said some choice words. I remember I was cussing at my desk, but it was therapeutic. That was the moment after all these years, I knew what my self-value was. I knew my worth was. I basically said so many words. Bye. I'm packing my stuff when I get home today. It was like a Friday, I think. Basically told him, don't want you to be there. Don't want anyone to be there. I'll start getting my things. Basically, he was begging me. It's like, oh, please, help pay the part of the bills. I'm like, I will pay through because I'm a woman of my word through the end of the month, which I did. And, what happened? This is funny. I can laugh about it now. The day we got divorced, it was August 8th, 2018. 2 days later, I know, I call it my Freedom Day. And at the time,
that's my Freedom Day. My Freedom Day was May 11th.
Yeah.
2011, which seems like ancient already.
No, it feels like I've lived so many different lives since then.
It's the whole decade.
On my calendar at the time, I was like, Freedom Day! And I was just so excited.
Congratulations.
Because, people, and you really learn out who your true friends are and who cares.
That's true. Oh, yes. No doubt about it.
So, one of our mutual friends, but it was more so his friend. It was like 2 days after we got divorced, he announced, I'm in love. I'm getting married. He was engaged 2 days later to his mistress, wife number 3, and they got married. And yeah. And what's funny? I can laugh about this. So my parents were just godsends. I was ready just to leave with just the clothes on my back, because once I knew my worth and knew my value, I was done. That home just literally physically made me ill. And I remember one Saturday, my mom was helping me go through the stuff that I was going to keep. And I was in the bedroom that we had shared for like the last year. I was going through the nightstand to see if there was anything in there. Girl, he had an engagement ring for the mistress in the nightstand. What? I confronted him when I had moved out, and he's like cussing me out. I'm like, just admit to it. Just admit it's my friend's ring.
Lying. A liar.
Yeah. I laugh about it now. A lot of therapy.
You want to talk about, oh my God, you want to talk about breaking the chains. You really broke those chains.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is funny too. So I got the thing the most. My parents were like, okay, you need to get this. You need to get this. I got the tangible objects that meant something. But this is part, it always makes me laugh. So most of the stuff that was in the home that we share was mine. So I'm like, okay, every time they sit on the couch or love seat, they'll think of me. The plates that are in the kitchen, they'll think of me. The washer and dryer that my parents helped get for us, because I'm rebuilding my credit because of him, they'll think of me. The table and the chairs that's in the kitchen, they'll think of me. Things that I left were I let my stepson keep because I loved him. It's like they're gonna I'm all in that house.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll think of me when they eat on the plates.
Yep. See that? I want to review, what a story. Wow.
Oh, there's so much more.
Oh, I can imagine. I want to read some of the comments because I have a very good friend.
I can't see it. I'm just looking at you to stay focused.
So, yeah, I'm going to review not all of them, but some of them. Okay. So, Jessica, I'm forever thankful that you're here with us today.
Thanks, best friend.
That word too.
Uh-huh.
Allie says, yep. Allie also says, I do too. Rosa Lepore. I want to say something to Rosa. Hold on one second. Yeah, I agree. It's beyond disgusting. And Allie said it's okay if you cry. It's a release.
I cried yesterday.
And it's a breakthrough. Actually, what you went through yesterday, it was a breakthrough, actually. It just came to me. It's a breakthrough. And Jessica is right. Oh, yes, the ones who are being abused are always blamed. So glad you don't live there anymore. Thank goodness you don't live anymore. Tara, you're too good. He was a user and abuser. I am so glad you're away from that scum. You deserve so much better. I agree. And Rosa, let me tell you something. I'm going to invite you to my private group. It's a safe haven and a safe space for women. So I'm definitely going to invite you to the group and let's have a conversation.
Yes, or find a Jess. I always find.
Oh yeah, I like that, Jess.
I'm sorry. It just makes
me laugh. See, this is what Rosa, and I give you a lot of credit talking about it because I'm living a story right now that I'm too ashamed. Okay, so this is where we need to talk, Rosa. Rosa is a very good friend of mine. I believe she's back in New York or she's in Florida. But regardless, we're going to talk, okay? This is the power of social media. Rosa and I have been friends for a long time. So this is the power of social media because we've all connected. So no thank you, hard on no. No thank you, hard no on being friends, right? I'm so proud of you. Correct. You know who your true friends are. Happy Freedom Day! Woohoo! He's such a scum. Wait, what is just? He's such a scum. You broke those chains, girl. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Rosa, no need to be ashamed. This is a safe space. You can talk to any of us. We always have an ear available. Right. And Rosa, yes, that all of us, okay? So, love yous. From Allie. Aw. Thank you, Rosa. Thanks for the hearts. So if you're watching the live or catching the replay, just let us know. And please share this live out with anyone who needs to hear this message. Share it on your personal page or share it with a good friend because I can tell you something. People are watching. People are looking for hope. They are looking for hope. So like Rosa, she's watching this live right now. I mean, it's that this is the power of social media. And, and this is why we're all connected. We're all a support group. It's important to have a strong support system. So Tara, did you have a really strong support system? I'm sure you did, from family. I mean,
are you talking about like post?
What did that look like?
Well, slowly, like over time, like I said, like Jess, who's watching right now, we've been best friends forever, and he pushed everyone away. Friends that people I thought that were friends, like lifelong friends, but in the 3 years since, having the courage to leave, my group of friends has gone from like this to like that, and I couldn't be even happier, because it's more about quality. And I got my family back. I got the friends that they had never left, the true friends. They were just on pause for a little bit just because I was not in a good headspace. It took a good year and a half, but a lot of people, they're like, you're so much happier. People maybe just talk to on social media that I grew up with. And it's just, my voice was silenced for so long, and now I'm already a fiery personality. I'm an Aries.
It's okay.
I'm happy. That's just spunky. I get it from my mammal, honestly, and so I don't want my voice to ever be silenced again. Never. So I'm going to learn when to speak and not to. I've gotten better about it. But it's probably why I chose to go in the helping field. And what I went through with my ex-husband, he brought me into the substance abuse counseling part in the social work field. So, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
And I've had some run-ins with him since the divorce. They've been pretty funny. One time, the first time, I was coming home from work, and right near my neighborhood out here, and it's at a very busy intersection in the area of town that I live in. So I'm just minding my business, getting ready to turn, and he's there across from me. This is like the first sighting, and she's with him, and they try to duck down in the car, and my car is bright blue. You can't miss it.
Wow.
I'm going to admit, because I'm very transparent, I did give him the bird, and it felt pretty good. I flipped him off. I know some people are like, Tara, that's not right. And be like, you know what? It was therapeutic, and it felt pretty good.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Absolutely.
And then I had an up-close run-in with him. He was working at a local store. It was Walmart. And I was doing grocery shopping. This is like way after the divorce. And I'm just minding my business. I'm like, I feel good about myself. I was still going through the healing process. And he was coming around the corner. And this is how he looked like. It was like, oh.
Wow.
Like, he had a scared look in his face. And I wanted to, I just smiled.
That's the best thing that you did right there.
I was thinking some cuss words in my head, and I'm like, no.
Don't stoop to his level.
No. Never. I did inside my head at the time.
Right. No, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, never, you did the right thing. You did, he tucked his tail away. You know what Jessica said? He tucked his tail and ran. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, she had...
Spunky gal, we adore you.
Jessica, this brings up, it was, I think, her first run-in with him, because she had some interaction with him, and her and her family got to know my stepson, a lot. And so this is like after the divorce. She was at the grocery store, and she's like, Tara, I saw him. He ran and tucked his tail, ran. I wanted to run him with my shopping cart.
That is so funny. Oh,
okay, I remember I come from a big family, extended family. My mom's the only child. My dad came from a sibling group of 6. There's only 4 living. Wow. So I have family that lives in Anchorage. I tagged all my family members that were on my Facebook page, saying about this, about the podcast. I have family that lives in Anchorage, Alaska. These are like the grandkids and the aunts and uncles. Seattle, New York, tons in town, tons in Atlanta. My dad's originally from Colorado. So there's 14 grandkids. And then once the grandkids got married and started having kids, I stopped counting. I'm the oldest of the 3 granddaughters.
Okay.
The oldest of my family grandchild is in his 50s. I have an uncle that's like 80, 81.
Wow.
So I have a huge family. So fast forward, it's a little bit after the divorce was final, and the girl and the Blake women were very strong individuals. I mean that in a good sense of the word. So the divorce hadn't been finalized that long. So my cousins, my 2 girl cousins, and some of like their sister-in-laws, it was family. It was like a good portion of like the women in my family, my age. We all went out to a local like Mexican restaurant shortly after I got divorced. My baby cousin had like just gotten, she got married 4 days before my divorce was finalized. I was very quiet. at the wedding, and I'm not a very quiet person for people that know me that well. When I know you, I can't shut up. And so I didn't want to say anything at the wedding. But anyways, so we're all eating dinner, and I can't remember who it was, Angeline. One of them's like, sorry, I'm not trying to burp. They're like, Tara, do you want me to go inside Walmart and get him fired? So I was like having my family, it's like they're protective.
Right.
They're even more so protective of me. So
wow.
He was kind of rude to my dad. This was after the divorce, of course. And it's the Walmart just right down the road from me. And he had gone there and he had ran into him. And my dad is very protective.
Oh, sure, like my dad.
Of me and my brother. But the bond that a girl has with her father, it's completely different. And I'm the baby of me and my brother.
Right.
Well, my dad was polite. I think the only reason because there was other people around, but he was trying to be really, really nice. And of course, my dad was just like, I'm so glad you all are here. But it's funny how like family members were like, let's get this because they were so mad. I'm like, I know one day I'm going to be okay. I'm just glad to be alive.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
The day my divorce was finalized, I had a really good lawyer. So my parents were like, I'm so grateful. They paid for my entire divorce. They're like, we want you to get out of there. And I remember sitting there the first sitting, and it was with my dad. And I was just, it was a whole out of body experience because I was still wrapping my head around, am I really safe? Is this really real? Am I not in that abusive home anymore? So the day the divorce was final, he was late to court. I was telling my parents, I'm like, I'm just going to go by myself. They're like, you're not going by yourself. I was just like, I just want it over and done with.
Right.
And my mom, she's very prim and proper, one of the most loving Christian women you'll ever meet. If you were over here, she'd be like, Angeline, do you want some food?
Well, I'm going to come over. I'm going to travel and meet your mom. Meet you and meet your mom. I would love to meet your mom.
But she sat in the middle because my dad was just, pardon my French, was pissed off. And so, and now I've had a lot of experience with court. That didn't come out right. It's just because of being in the field I'm in, I've had to go to court with clients and everything. So here comes my soon-to-be ex, shirt untucked, looking terrible, and I'm just thinking, the judge is going to throw him out. He was trying to appear intimidating, but in that moment, even though I wasn't there, it's like he can't intimidate me anymore. You know, he can't. And he had some very unkind tattoos showing. We'll just leave it at that. That's part of the reason why my family was pushed away.
Okay.
So when they call my name up, he's sitting down on the other side. I'm grateful my parents were there, but if he had tried anything, there was cops around.
Oh, sure. Oh, that.
Yeah. So they call my name up, and I made sure my divorce decree, I want my name back. I want my name Blake back. It's in my divorce decree.
Good.
And then my lawyer, he's like, okay, go wait for me, outside the courtroom. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, he's going to be coming out in a moment. I can breathe again. I'm Tara Blake again. Woohoo. My parents are about to come out. So the door opens. I thought it was my lawyer and my parents. Guess who it was? Him. This is the last time I've ever talked to him.
Wow.
And I just saw, and this is not to be rude because, like I said, I've made peace with it and I've forgiven him. It looked like he had no soul in his eyes. and he was trying to be nice. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, I wish he would just try something. There are cops here. And then he made a snide comment. Well, made a comment about my parents in the snide ways, like, tell your parents I said hi.
Oh,
but
sure.
They came out. I think I told my lawyer, and he was really, really great. But I was Tara Blake again. I was like, woohoo. So when we're leaving, I just start crying, and I'm, inside a courthouse, they have the metal detector. Well, so it was an officer, and I think it was a courthouse employee. I'm like, I'm not crying because I'm sad. I'm so happy.
Sure.
Jess and I laugh about this sometimes, and someone we know mutually that we grew up with. I had a song, and I'm not going to say it out loud because I have the unclean version on my phone next to me. Do you know who Ludacris is? The rapper?
Oh, the rapper. Yes, yes.
He has a song called Move, but there's a cuss word in it. That was my theme song going through my divorce.
Wow.
And I wanted to start singing it on the court steps. I'm like, I can't exactly do that. But yeah, I still laugh about it. But I was so relieved walking out of that courthouse every time like I go past it, because actually Jess and I's friend has a dance studio in Ringgold. That's where I lived for 4 years. And so it's right there near the courthouse. And I just like, I'm happy when I see the courthouse. I'm like, that's when I got my freedom back. And later that day, I had the rest of the day off. I ordered myself some food from Crackle Barrel. I wrapped myself up in my blanket like I am right now. And I was just, that's how I rewarded myself. And then a couple of months later, my mom was basically like, we're so proud of you getting out of that marriage. And we want to reward you for getting divorced. My mom took me and her to Savannah and Tybee Island for like 3 or 4 days. And it was just me and her. Because we had always wanted to go, but that was my reward for getting divorced. Free vacation.
There you go. There you go.
And that's the last time I traveled since before the pandemic.
Yeah, I celebrated.
Yeah.
I celebrated my freedom and liberation, So I remember how I felt, and so I can imagine how you felt going through all that. That's grueling.
It's like I'm getting my health back. Like when I was with him, I gained at least 100 pounds. And I look at pictures and I don't remember I'm not the same woman that I am, that I was before I met him. But what was meant for evil, this is what I always say. What was meant for evil, God continues to turn into good.
Exactly.
I refuse, even in the mental state I was initially going through it, I'm like, I'm never going to play the victim. Now, I'm not saying there was times where I wasn't depressed, and I'm so grateful for going to therapy and everything, but I never played the victim, and I'll never play the victim.
No. And that's important. I was just going to touch on that. It's important not to play the victim. And it's important to just take charge. And that's exactly what you did. And you got your power back. And you went for therapy. How long did you go for therapy?
Okay, this is the funny thing. I'm a huge advocate for therapy. So I restarted therapy about 2 weeks before we decided we were going to get a divorce. And I remember sitting in my therapist's office. She's like, Tara, this is not healthy. And just talking about it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to give him 1 more month, right? That's what me and my therapist had talked about. 2 weeks later, of course, we laughed about it later. I'm like, 2 weeks later, yeah, we're getting a divorce. We didn't make it.
Yeah, forget it. No more chances.
Mm-hmm. And so out of everything that I went through, in all, I'm grateful I saw those pictures online, as much as it hurt me, because as warped as it might sound to some people, like, I did love him for 4 years. I did love him. And I'm so grateful for those pictures, because you know how people talk about an aha moment? That was my aha moment.
Right, right.
In that moment, it's like, okay, there's no turning back. I know this is going to be hard work. I know my self-value. I know my self-worth.
Exactly. Now, regarding that's important, to get your self-worth back. And the first step is to rediscover yourself.
Uh-huh.
That's huge. Not to jump into another relationship. Okay. The first thing that you need, that women, I hope that, for those of you who are listening or who are going to be watching the replay, it's important not to jump into a relationship right away. Mm-hmm. You have to rediscover yourself.
Totally. I didn't start going back in the dating field until about a year after. Okay. Now, I haven't dated. I've had a couple of boyfriends, but nothing serious to the extent like I was with my ex-husband.
Okay.
I've been on a lot of dates, and it's been really interesting dating post-divorce in my 30s. Jess has heard all the stories, but we're not. That's for off the podcast.
Okay, off the podcast. Well, that'll be a post podcast. The three.
Yeah, but it's just. Yeah. I mean, I would love to get married again and be with the right guy, but I'd rather be single the rest of my life than ever be in another relationship, but I refuse to. Now, I've made some dating mistakes post-divorce, but I'm at that point where I'm like, I'm going to take my time. It's going to take a lot for me I'm not going to quickly go into a relationship, long story short, ever again.
I agree.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, lessons learned. And look, I mean, after my divorce, maybe 6 months later, I dated, but then I stopped. I said, forget it. And I'm 11 years free and single. And
I'm happily divorced 3 years.
And I'm living my best life.
Amen. And I am too. And so all these goals that I have. And when I was talking about writing, I started writing a screenplay back in 2010. And I was trying to find my writing stuff in my house, and I couldn't find it. But I just think it was that breakthrough moment, because of today. And we'll see what happens with it, but
Exactly. I just want to go through the comments just quickly.
That's fine.
Yeah, let's go through. So, love you, Tara, Jessica.
Love you, Jess.
Go Rosa connecting. Rosa connecting. That is my main focus. Okay, Spunky.
Yeah,
we adore you. Ha! He tucked his tail and ran. That was a good. Yes, Allie, all about the connection. Exactly. And I'm grateful that we're all connected. Yes, we do. And Rosa's going to be part of our support group.
We would love to have you.
Yes, Rosa. So, support is important. I know that I had a strong support network. And this is going back 11 years ago. I had an online presence, but not, really as, it was small, but that's okay. No more power over you. Freedom brings out all the emotions.
I already got my tears out.
Freedom trip. Yes. Amen. And then let's see. Absolutely take that time to learn who you are. That's rediscovering yourself. I give up after this guy I'm with. I have no idea where it's even going at this point. I know who she's talking about. So, Rosa, we'll get together. Okay. You go, lady. Yes, you go, lady.
Like I tell not just like friends and family, but my patients from being in the counseling field, is that I want you to be the happiest, healthiest, and best version of you.
There
And
you go.
I think that's the only thing that we can really, hope for any of us.
Exactly. I have a question to ask you. What advice would you give Rosa? Like some encouragement, because she needs encouragement.
Well, if you were here right now, I would give you a hug because I'm a huggy person.
Me too.
If Jess was here right now, she'd give you a hug too. And Allie and all of us. It's just that we're here for you. That's all. Speaking from experience, this is how I'm going to answer it.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that are not in my life anymore because they were never truly my friends. They taught me a lesson, but they weren't ever really friends. Is that I had some people, did this happen to you, where they just pat you on the hand like, it's going to be okay, and like, prayer will get you through everything, which prayer is important, but you're grieving a loss. It's like a death in the family. But what I learned through my personal experience, what meant the most is the people that truly care and love you for you through the good times and the bad times is I'm here for you.
There you go.
Those I'm here for you. Sorry, I've been up since like
I am here for you.
Those 4 words, that's the best advice I can give is that we're here for you.
Exactly.
And just to know your value and worth.
Absolutely.
Not to simplify things, but that's like the best advice like I was given, and that's been near and dear to my heart. I don't remember who told me that, but I even take that advice when I'm talking to patients. I'm like, know your value, know your worth,
Exactly. Know your value and worth. That's important because we deserve better in life. I will never forget when I had a conversation 11 years ago with my first cousin. She said, you deserve better.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what he did. So, I mean, but yeah, it's important to know your self-worth and to get your power back.
Right.
And that takes work. It's work.
Oh gosh, yes.
Ooh, it's work, but it's worth it.
Mm-hmm. The first year and a half, I remember there was someone that I had worked with and I thought was my friend when I was initially going through my divorce. They're like, you're getting divorced. You're out of there. Just get over it. I wasn't at a strong enough place to tell him that was inappropriate because it's still hard because this is your family, and it's like it felt like a death to a dream, and it felt like just like a death, and it's like I'm losing my home, I'm losing who I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with. Anyone that's known me, it's like I've always wanted to be a mom. I'm told the child that I helped raise for 4 years, you're not allowed to see him ever again.
Oh,
so it was like all at once, but I'm grateful for what I went through just because it brought to me where I'm at. So
exactly, you get strength.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
The first year and a half was extremely hard emotionally.
Okay, and how about now? Present.
I'm actually a lot better. If I needed to go back to therapy, I would.
Okay.
I've taken some mindset courses like Allie and Jess have.
That's important.
I have joy in my heart even on the tough days. I'm glad not to be living my lifetime movie life anymore.
Right.
That's what it felt like. It's very sombering to realize if you had stayed in that situation any longer, I would have been killed. I would have been taken before, my time was up. And it's very sombering. And when your parents say that too, it's very, not sombering, but it's humbling.
Humbling, right. Exactly. Well, you know what? We're coming up to the top of the hour.
Oh, yeah, there's still more. Maybe I'll put it in my screenplay.
Okay, let's see, Jessica. Okay, she writes, Rosa, you are not alone. Keep swimming and just know we won't let you drown. You're worth more than your current situation. There is a way out. And speaking of mindset courses, Jessica, thank you for sharing that. Speaking of that, I took, see what I did and you did, mindset courses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I got a mentor, and I have, you know, several mentors who I work with now to help you grow, you know, to help you get out of that that scarcity mindset, I call.
It's like to take your life to the next level, to live the
Right.
dream life.
And Rosa could do it. I know she could do it.
Vision board helps. Honestly, like when you get ready to do that, Rosa, any of us can help you. Like, I know Jess and I have done one for the last 2 years, but it's very empowering.
Very empowering is right. Absolutely. Amen, Jessica. And she can for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Now that we're coming up to the top of the hour,
It doesn't feel like that long. It feels like we've only You're so easy to talk to.
I know. I would like to, have you share. Thank you for sharing your story. And thank you for sharing
having me.
Your journey. And thank you for being on my platform, because we need to break the silence on domestic violence, and we're doing that. We all have a voice, and that's important. You know, you have a voice, Allie has a voice, Jessica has a voice, Rosa, you have a voice too. Okay, so when the time comes and when you're ready, then we'll talk. But Tara, I would like you to share some closing thoughts. So yes.
Things I've already said. Know your value, know your worth.
Okay.
There is a way out. Strive to be the healthiest and happiest version of you. And when you're ready to leave that situation, whether you're man, woman, child, or whatever, there is help. Make sure you get a good support system in place, whether that's through church, through social activities, and just know that you are loved, you are beautiful, you are wanted. It may not feel like it at the time, but I could have easily become a statistic, but I chose not to. It took a lot of hard work.
And the hard work paid off.
Yeah, I'm still here.
You're a powerhouse superwoman.
I won't go down kick. I will not go down, without a fight. And who knows? Like I said, maybe once I start, I'm going to start scheduling some time. Once I find my writing stuff, I have about 30 pages written. You never know. I'll put some of my story in there. The names will change.
Right.
Already have the Oscar speech. Is that positive? Mindset.
I like that. See, that's right. Exactly.
I've had dreams about it.
That's good. That's good.
And so I already have
manifest.
I already have the Oscar speech in my head. I told Jess that you can be on the sound. She could be on the soundtrack. And so
you're going to do it.
Yeah.
You're going to do it and get power. I love the hashtag Powerhouse Superwoman.
Yeah, it's just great to have my life back. Just sitting here talking, I'm like, I don't even thank you, Rosa.
Oh, thank you.
I don't even remember. It seems like it's been 3 years, but it seems like 30. Okay, I can say real quick a little bit about the story.
Good.
It's called Roulette. I started it when I was in 2010, right around, if you remember, the movie Inception came out.
Yes.
So this shadowy figure of a man follows the heroine in the story from the time she's a little girl up through being a young adult.
Wow.
part of the story. You don't know what's real, not real. When it gets turned into a movie, it probably will be rated R because just there's certain words that I would not write into the screenplay because it's just because it's a tough story and you don't know what's real and not. And I actually am part of the screenplay. This short story I wrote in honors English in 9th grade. I called it The No Name Man. And basically the heroine, I took that story and put it into the screenplay, and she's like fighting for her life.
Oh, sure.
And she's walking on the deserted road, and it turns into hardwood floor, and then the curtains open, and her friends were seeing this whole thing happen. So you don't know if it's real or not real.
Wow. I can't wait to see it.
Stay tuned.
Yes, and Rosa, she is a strong woman. Rosa, you're a strong woman.
Oh, you are loved.
See it. Now, she may not see it yet.
Right.
Okay, and I can understand how she feels because you and I have been there. Okay. Yeah. And Jessica, and yes, she is. That's right.
Also, Jess talked about on your podcast when she did it recently about her music. And this is towards Rosa and anybody else. Listen to her song, Beautifully Broken. It's about her experience getting out of that relationship and Broken Girl. I'm plugging for my best friend. And then music, when I was going through it originally, I sang a lot of Kelly Clarkson. There was a song of hers that got me through my divorce. The sun will rise. It's on. I think it's off of her Stronger album. And then, of course, with the Me Too movement happening and it's bringing things, up front. You know who Kesha is, right? Yes. Her song Praying, it still gives me, like, even talking about it gives me goosebumps. Her song Praying, talking about her experience. I have goosebumps right now. That got me through. I sang a lot of that song. Good. Going through my divorce originally. So music, it helps. Oh yeah. Music is very healing. In fact, when I went through mine, same thing. Healing music, meditation. I had a lot of angry music I sung. That's karaoke. But it's it's emotional. Yeah. I've sang a lot of my song, the Ludacris song that got me through my divorce. Not the radio version that has the one cuss. Hey, I'm transparent, so I'm glad you're transparent. That's important. And sometimes I remember being in therapy, a closing thought, and my therapist agreed the cussing was therapeutic. I like that. Oh, I did a lot of cussing. You know why? Because you're getting it out of your system. Oh yeah, like going through it. My parents, gotta love them. Also, as a closing thought, is that summer there was so much cussing in my household. It's not even funny. And my mom, who's one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet, and if anybody watching right now that knows my mom, like personally or family wise, Jessica does. I'm like, oh my dear Lord. I'm like, I didn't know my mom could cuss. That summer. See? Oh my God, this was so powerful. Now, Jessica says cussing is part of the release, right? Mm-hmm. It's part of. There was a T-shirt that I wanted to get. A friend of mine had pointed out when I was going through my divorce. It says, "I love Jesus, but I cuss a little," and that's true. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For me personally. Oh yeah, I love it. Now, where can people find you? Just you can just message. I'm on Facebook and Instagram. Can you give us the Instagram? The what?
Your Instagram handle. I think I know it.
I don't just look up Tara Blake. I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Yeah, maybe someday I will have a writing website.
You will.
Mm-hmm.
Make it a
I'm
goal.
manifesting it. I'm already like the Golden Globe and Oscar speech in my head.
Manifest.
Mm-hmm. And the person giving me the award is George Clooney.
Oh.
That was in my dream.
See that? Well, I'm going to be writing a book, and there's things that there's things that I'm working on right now, and we'll have a website.
Oh, I will. Not in this moment, but I will.
You will have a website. Mm-hmm. All right, Tara. So you know what I'm going to do. So I'm going to close the broadcast.
Okay.
And I want to thank everyone for taking the time out of your busy schedule to watch this live broadcast. So we're just going to, okay. So for those of you who are watching the replay here, please let us know by hashtagging replay, okay? Because we get a lot of replay viewers here. And please subscribe. So this episode 21, will be uploaded on my Let's Break the Silence podcast. The new episodes are available at www.letsbreakthesilence.com. And when you click on that website, there will be a link to the podcast. So I'm on Anchor FM. I'm on Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts, and also please subscribe and give a rating. Okay, we would really, really appreciate it. So this episode will be uploaded probably by Wednesday. So it will be live. So for the listeners who are tuning in, you can go ahead and listen to that broadcast, and please spread the good word, because we literally have break the silence.
We have to.
You have, Tara, you have broken the chains. Just like Jessica, you have broken the chains.
Sorry, my shirt is trying to choke me. I'm like,
yeah. Yes. Well, you did great. You did great. Your story has already made an impact on, Rosa and myself. It's made a huge impact, in my life too. I feel more fired up than ever, because I know that I want to do more. When I hear stories like yours, and I hear when I hear a story like yours, it makes me want to do more.
There's so much more to this story. It's like,
yeah,
that would really fire you.
Exactly. Absolutely. All right, everyone. Tara, just please stay on after I end the broadcast. Okay. So have a great day. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Oh, wait. Jessica said, Allie McDonald, you're next.
It started with Jess, then me. Then
I know. Allie, you are next. We are all inspired writers. Absolutely. So, yeah, she knows she's next, right? So
even when we were talking, broadcasting about, the podcast,
yeah,
she's like, I'm next.
Okay, Allie, you're getting a message. Okay. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Amazing podcast. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you next time on Let's Break the Silence podcast. Have a great night, everyone. Love you, Rosa. Love you, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye.